Welcome back. We're talking about some more RV sales process today. And one of our favorite subjects in sales, how to overcome the objection, right? Because as salespeople, we feel like if all we can master is overcoming the objection, then that means we can close the deal, right? So if I have the best rebuttals, if I have the best word tracks and things that I'm able to say back to my customer to get them to buy an RV, then I can close the deal. So all I need is that magic bullet that helps me seal the deal, right? But the truth is there's kind of two magic bullets. There's a way to overcome objections and an easy way to do that, and a word track I can teach you on how to overcome those objections. But the real silver bullet in closing a deal is getting to the pain points, needs, emotions, wants, and desires of our customer so deep and so in tune so that the customer realizes that buying the RV or buying the product or service that you're offering is less money than the value that it adds to their life or to their business or whatever it is. When you can convey to a customer using emotions, needs, wants, desires, and interview and qualify, when you can figure out what a customer truly needs and then meet those needs, it's a lot easier to close the deal. So there's no magic rebuttal. There's no one sentence that's going to get the job done. The one silver bullet that can overcome any objection, that can help you overcome any objection, is learning those needs, learning those wants, learning those desires of our customer, and then tailoring our product or service to meet those needs, wants, and desires. So you might be wondering, like, hey, I already do this. I interview and I qualify my customers. I bring them into my office. I ask them a couple questions. I ask them what their budget is, what they're looking for, what their tow weight is. And then, I ask them what floor plan they're looking at or what unit they want to see. And then we go out onto the lot. And right. And that's me asking them what, they're looking for, right? And if you're an RV salesperson that does kind of a process like that, a real slim down process where, we're not asking enough questions, we're not learning enough emotions, we're not digging deep enough with our customer, then those 4 or 5 questions we're asking are not helping us, right? They don't help us at all because we're not connecting with our customer. We're allowing them to control the sales process and take us in the direction that they want to go instead of us you know taking the sales process, making it make sense, finding out what kind of RV you're looking for, show the right RV at the right budget, right? There's a reason RV salespeople and RV sales managers and RV GMs, excuse me, tell you to run your customers through a sales process, or most of them do. All the dealerships I've worked at in my life, there was a specific sales process you were supposed to do. And the reason is because it helps set up the end sale. You're not just supposed to march your customer out to the lot. You're not just supposed to march your customer in and out of RV. You're not just supposed to show your customer the first RV they ask for, right? And sometimes customers understand, what they're looking for, right? But when someone comes in and says, "Hey, I want to look at this RV," I'm still going to slow the sales process down and say, "Okay, I hear what you're saying. Let me ask you this. What are you going to be doing with that floor plan?" "Oh, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing X and we're going to be doing Y. We're going to be camping. We're going to be kayaking." And now I can get my customer talking about what their true needs and wants and desires are. So that's the real trick in overcoming any objection in RV sales and really any sales is getting to our customers' true needs, wants, and desires, and then helping them realize that our product or service, our RV, is worth more, in value to their life than the dollars we're asking them to spend, whether it be a monthly payment or in cash. Okay, and when we can do that, we're going to close the deal. So how do we do it, right? The way that we're going to do it in our introduction, we're going to say something like, hi, welcome to XYZ dealership. Have you ever bought here before? The customer is going to tell you yes, they're going to tell you no. It doesn't matter what they tell you, right? Because all I'm doing right here is I'm setting up my intentions. I'm about to explain my buying process. That way I can lower the defenses of my customer and take control of the sale. So you have to take control of the sale in the very beginning of the sales process. It's not 5 minutes after they walk in. It's not 10 minutes after they walk in. It's in the very first seconds that our customer comes to the dealership. So I'm going to walk up, I'm going to shake their hand, I'm going to say, welcome to the dealership. What can I help you find? They're going to say, hey, we're here for X, Y, and Z. And then I'm going to say, okay, great. Let me ask you this. Have you ever bought from our dealership before? They're going to say yes. They're going to say no. I'm going to say, okay, great. So the way that we do business here at XYZ dealership is we like to sit you down and ask questions so we can truly understand the RV and the floor plan that's going to meet your needs. Once we learn exactly what we need to make sure we have the RV that you're looking for, we'll go out, we'll take a look at that RV, I'll show you the unit, answer any questions that you may have. We'll take a look at one, maybe two RVs while we're out there. Once we're done, we'll come back in. We'll take a look at the numbers. That way you'll know exactly what you need to buy this RV for, cash or for a monthly payment. And then if that RV lines up with your needs, you'll buy it. If it doesn't, I won't even ask you to buy it. Does that sound fair enough? Right? So that's how I'm going to do an introduction with my customer. It's a little kind of short, paraphrased, and rushed, to be honest with you, but that's basically the gist I'm going to do. I'm going to explain my buying process. What that does is it gets control of the sale because I'm explaining to my customers what they're going to be doing, what they're going to be going through, and why they're going to be going through it. The reason I need to take you through this sales process, and this is kind of what I'm telling them inside of this, if we're going to unpack it a little bit, what I'm telling them in the intro is, hey, I'm going to sit you down and ask you questions. And the reason I'm asking you questions is because I need to learn what RVs I need to be showing you. I want to make sure that this RV meets your needs, that it's going to do what you need it to do when you're out on the campground, that it's going to do what you need it to do while you're traveling, that it's going to have the room for whatever you're going to bring, or X, Y, and Z. I need to make sure that I'm showing you an RV that meets your needs, because the last thing I want to do is sell you something that doesn't meet your needs, right? That'd be stupid of me as an RV salesperson to sell you something that doesn't meet your needs. So what I need to do is I need to ask you questions so that I can learn how I can assist you and find the RV that meets your needs. Okay, you see how this is framed towards our customers' needs, towards their wants, towards their desires, so I can provide them with what they need. Okay, that's very important in this sales process. So we are, learning what they need in our intro. We're asking those questions. We're telling them how the sale is going to go. That's lowering our customers' defenses. And then once we lower our customers' defenses, they'll walk through the sales process with us. So now what I told them in the intro is I'm going to take them to my desk. I'm going to ask them some questions. And then once I learn what I need to learn, then we're going to go out to the dealership. We're going to take a look at one, maybe two RVs. Once we take a look at one or two RVs, we're going to come back in. We're going to take a look at the numbers. I'm going to show you the numbers on what it'll cost to buy you cash or monthly payment, right? Because we don't know if they're a cash buyer. We don't know if they are a monthly buyer. And we don't want to ask, oh, hey, are you a cash buyer? Hey, are you a financer? In the first 1 minute of meeting them, right? Because that's the question that benefits me as a salesperson. That doesn't really benefit my customer in the first minute. But if I say, hey, listen, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the numbers so that you know what you could buy it cash or a monthly payment for. What it tells them is, hey, whether you're a cash buyer, whether you're a monthly payment buyer or financer, I'm going to give you the numbers either way. So it tells them what they need to know without the intrusive ask of, hey, are you a cash buyer? Hey, are you a financer? Right? Hey, do you going to fill out a credit app? We're not going to ask that in the first 1 minute that we're talking to customers. It's too off-putting. It's too salesy. It's too focused on the salesman. It's too focused on a commission. Once we do that in the first minute, now our customers' defenses go up, and now it's harder to ask questions. It's harder to run them through the sales process. Okay, so we're not going to say it like that. We're going to say, so we're going to show you the numbers, what it'll cost to buy you cash or for a monthly payment. And if that lines up with what you're looking for exactly, you'll buy it. And if it doesn't, I won't even ask you to buy it. So here what I'm saying is, hey, if it lines up with your needs, you're going to buy the RV. And I'm kind of telling them right now that I'm going to ask them and I'm going to expect them to buy the RV if it meets their needs specifically, right? And if it doesn't meet their needs specifically, I won't even ask you to buy the RV, right? So what kind of RV dealership salesperson has ever told you that they won't ask you to buy the unit if it doesn't meet their needs? Probably zero. But it's kind of it's kind of, if you do a good interview and qualify, you will 100% of the time be showing the right RV. And if you don't have the RV the customer's looking for, I would tell you that you shouldn't sell it to them. You should point them in the right direction on a unit that meets their needs. But a lot of the time at our dealerships, we have a unit that meets customers' needs. So if we're able to learn those needs, those wants, and those desires well enough, then we are able to show them an RV that meets their needs 100% of the time, which then negates that sentence that I told them in the very beginning, right? Because I said, if it's the right RV for you, you're going to buy it. If it's not the right RV for you, I won't even ask you to buy it. But if I'm showing you an RV that is, in fact, right for you 100% of the time, then I am always going to ask you to buy an RV. And that is what I told you in the beginning. So I'm not lying. I'm not stretching the truth. I'm not being deceiving. I'm telling you I did what I told you I was going to do in the first 1 or 2 minutes. And now that we're here at the RV and this is the perfect RV for you at the right price, now you need to buy it, right? So that's how we're going to preface the introduction, so that when we get them to our desk, when we get them to where we're going to interview and qualify them, and that should be where you're going to try to close them, right? So probably in your office, at your desk, or depending on where you close. Okay. So we're going to take them there. We're going to sit them down. We're going to ask them who, what, when, where, why, and how questions. How are you going to be using the RV? What are you going to be doing with it? Where are you going to be going? Who's going to be going with you? What are you going to be doing when you get to the campground? How important is it to you to start traveling with your family? What are the first destinations you're going to go to with your kids? Where is the first bucket list item you're going to knock off with your wife? All these different questions. And the deeper they are, the more past surface level, that's what I like to say, the more past surface level these questions are, or the deeper we're able to dig, the better the question is, and the more power it has in the RV sales process. Okay, because if we're asking questions like, hey, how important is it for you to start traveling with your kids, start fishing, start kayaking, and start creating those memories? How important is that to you? What answer is a mom or a dad going to be able to say to that? They're going to have to say, well, honestly, it's very important. Little Johnny, he's 7. Sally, she's 10. We haven't really got to camp much with Sally. She's getting to a point where, she likes to hang out with her kids and her friends. And if we wait a couple more years, Sally probably isn't going to go on camping trips with us. So it'll just be me and my wife and Johnny, and Sally's going to be playing with her friends, and we're going to, miss those camping trips we could have had with Sally because we didn't buy an RV soon enough. Wow. And they might have never thought of something like this. This might have never crossed their mind because life is busy. We have soccer practice, we have softball practice, we have bills, we have work, we have everything that's going on in our life. We don't always get a chance to stop and think about, what are we really missing here by not spending $200 on an RV, $400 on an RV? Our camping trips with our loved ones and our wife and our kids and our X, Y, and Z, is that worth more than 200 bucks, 400 bucks? Yes, usually it is, right? But we have to get our customers to that realization, and that's how you're going to overcome the objections. It's not going to be by a word track. It's not going to be by saying the right sentence at the right time and boom, they're just going to turn into a buyer. No, that's not the way that it works. But if we're able to get to our customers' emotions, show them that unit meets their needs and helps them, accomplish those things that they want to accomplish, well, now we can overcome the objection. So it all starts in the interview and qualify and how well and how far past surface level we get with our customers so that we're able to show them an RV that meets their needs, and they're able to see how it meets their needs because we were able to pull out that emotion in the interview and qualify. And once you're able to do that, once you get very good at interviewing qualifying customers and going past surface level by, asking, why it's important to knock bucket list items off with your wife, why it's important to go fishing with your kids, why it's important to start traveling the US with your kids, what would it mean to you to start traveling right now with your kids and your wife? And, what would it mean to you right now to start knocking bucket list items off with your wife, with your loved ones, whatever the case is, right? Those kinds of questions, again, bring that emotion into the deal so that when we get to the back end of the deal and we're in the close, when we're showing the numbers, when we're ready to, do a credit app or whatever the case is pending, right? We have, the emotion in the deal that's going to help us close it, right? Because that's, again, the silver bullet. How much emotion do we have in the deal, and how well are we conveying to our customers, or how well are our customers realizing that our products, our services, our RVs, what we're selling to them is in fact what they need in their life to solve the problems of not traveling with our loved ones, not spending time with our kids, not creating memories with our spouse, not knocking off bucket list items, right? So if you need to do that with an RV, then we need to buy the RV, and that's very important. These are priceless things. $200 isn't priceless; it's 200 bucks, right? So if we're trying to do priceless shit, we need to buy the RV, right? So it all comes back to how well we interview and qualify. So people think overcoming objections is in the rebuttal. It's in what we can say back to them when they tell us no. But that's not the truth. The truth is overcoming objections starts in the interview and qualify when we're learning our customers' needs, wants, and desires. And if we do that very well, it's easy to overcome an objection. There's only one word track you need to overcome an objection, which makes it easy because now you don't have to write a big red book out or a black book out of rebuttals, and you don't have to remember a million rebuttals to get your customer to close down on a deal, because what we're actually going to use is our customers' emotions and one word track. If they say to me, Chris, this is a beautiful RV, but we're not buying it today. All I'm going to say to them is, I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you're not going to buy the RV today? It's going to help you fish with your loved ones. It's going to help you, camp with Sally. It's going to help you knock bucket list items off with your wife. Those things are priceless. That's well worth the $200 a month that you're going to pay to buy this RV. So, I hear what you're saying, but buy this RV today. Stop torturing yourself. And I'm going to shut up. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to either let them sign on the dotted line, whether it takes them 10 minutes in silence. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to be quiet. Don't you say another word. Don't you dare say another word. So many salespeople will talk themselves out of the deal right there, or they'll give their customer an out right there because it's getting uncomfortable in the silence. Live in the silence as a salesperson. That silence is gold for you. That means your customer is thinking. It means the wheels are spinning. It means they're contemplating things. Listen, if I tell you to jump off the Empire State Building, it doesn't tell you much time. It doesn't take much time to say no. You don't have to contemplate. You're not going to sit there in silence and say, "Oh, let me think about this. Let me think about it. Is this a good idea?" You're going to be like, "No, I'm not doing that." Quick and easy. When a customer is taking time to think about what you just said, you need to let it marinate. You need to let it sit, let it percolate, let it get bubbly up in there, let it get working because it's doing its job. You need to be quiet right there. Don't say nothing. I cannot stress this enough. Too many salespeople think this is not important, and that's why I'm going bananas right here. And I'm trying to get your attention because you have to understand the silence is golden for you. You ask that question. Stop torturing yourself. Sign right here. Boom. Silence. Okay. That customer's going to think, they're going to do something, they're going to say something, or maybe they sign. They might sign. If they sign, perfect. We just helped add value to our customer's life. If they don't sign, they might say something like, Chris, you make some good points. I do want to start traveling. Excuse me. But I $200 is a lot of money. That maybe that's the rebuttal. Okay. And now all I'm going to say is, maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. Remember, one sentence to overcome objections. Once we understand our customers' emotions. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. Why do you want to torture you and your family for only $200 a month? Sally's getting older. She's not going to want to camp with you soon. You're not going to be able to create those memories with Sally, in the upcoming years. Johnny's also getting older and he's going to fall in the same boat Sally is here in a couple years. So, if you don't buy the RV this year, you're probably not going to build those memories with Sally or with Johnny, right? And I know that's definitely going to be much more of a regret, at the end of the line than spending $200 a month camping with your loved ones, kayaking down the river, and building those priceless memories with Johnny, Sally, your wife, and your family. So I hear what you're saying. Yes, $200 is a lot of money, but sign right here because this RV adds way more value to your life than $200, right? So boom, now I'm in another close. And I'm using their emotions to go after that close, right? And they might say, "You know what, Chris, you're right. $200 ain't nothing compared to, camping with Sally. Sally and Johnny are getting older. X, Y, and Z. You're right, Chris." And they might sign right there. Or they might say, "Chris, you're right. But still, we got to think about it. My brother was thinking about getting an RV. I want to talk to my brother first," and so on and so forth. And I'm going to say, right back into it again. Remember, one word trick. I hear what you're saying, but let me ask you this. How come you want to, wait on your brother to start living the dreams with your loved ones, with your family, with Sally, with Johnny? How come you want to wait on your brother? What happens if your brother never buys an RV and then you never experience any of these things you want to experience because of your brother? What kind of sense does that make? Stop torturing yourself. Stop torturing your family. It's only $200. Sign right here and buy this RV today. Boom. And another close. Right? So you can see how much easier it is to overcome an objection with this mindset because I'm not remembering a bunch of rebuttals. Also, rebuttals don't feel personal to a customer. Customers don't care about your one-off rebuttals. If anything, it makes them feel like you're a used car salesman or a slimy salesperson. So they don't really care about your rebuttals, right? But when you say something like this, I hear what you're saying, but stop torturing yourself. Start living your life with your family. And when you start using those emotions, start traveling. Start knocking off bucket list items. They tell you they wanted to fish. If they told you their most important thing was fishing with his son because him and his dad fished, and they made so many good memories in the campgrounds, or so on and so forth. You might say something like, "Well, how come you want to stop you and your son from building these beautiful memories that you and your dad have by not buying this RV today. These memories are priceless. You know that because you still remember those memories with your dad today. How come you want to rob your son of that for $200 a month? Sign right here. Buy this RV today. Stop robbing your son of those memories, right? That's a much more stronger close than, any of the rebuttal closes you could think of, or, hey, get your balls out of your wife's purse, or, all of the old school kind of like punch you in the face rebuttals that I hate. I hate them all because to me, it doesn't convey to my customer that I care about them, and customers, all they care about is themselves. So if I'm a salesperson that's not tailoring to what my customers care about, then I'm not going to close many deals. But if I can tailor the sales process and the deal to what they care about, then I can close deal after deal. And that's at the end of the day how I make my commission and how I reach my goals is I help more customers reach their goals. Right? There's a Zig Ziglar quote, I believe it's something like this. This is paraphrased. Help enough people get what they want, and you will always get what you want. Something like that, right? That's paraphrased, not exact. Okay. And that's true. When you start to help your customers get what they want, then you will get what you want. You'll get your commission. You'll get your spiffs. You'll make over six figures. You'll be a top performing salesperson in your industry, all because you care about your customer, their needs, their wants, their desires, and you're helping them solve their problems. When you become that salesperson, now you also get referral business from your customers. You're selling to their mother, their brother, their sister, their uncle, everybody at the campground they talk to. And now our spider web, call it, of referrals and leads just gets bigger. So as you're in 2, 3, 4, 7 years in RV sales, now we could be really making some good money and helping a lot of families reach their goals, meet their needs, camp, create this priceless memory. And that's what people will remember on their deathbed. No one's going to remember $200 a month on their deathbed, but they will remember the memories that they have with their family and their loved ones camping. So that's what we need to attack as an RV salesperson. That's what we need to figure out. That's what we have to bring into the deal. And that's how we overcome objections. So hopefully this video has helped you out. If you're having trouble overcoming objections, you can buy the book Sell More, Live More Sales Training. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes and Noble. You can also sign up if you don't like to read. Sign up for our virtual training. It's all videos and audio, so it's very easy to follow. And then you can go ahead, sign up for that. It's only $9.97 a month, so it's very inexpensive. We have a crazy deal going on right now, so sign up for that. $9.97 a month, or $97 for the whole program. You can get that on sellmorelivemore.net. So hop over to sellmorelivemore.net, buy the program, subscribe monthly, whichever one you want to do. That way you can get better at the sales process. If the problem you're having at your RV dealership or business is your sales team is not talking to enough customers, which a lot of the time that's the biggest problem, honestly, is our sales team is not talking to enough customers to reach our sales goals. And if that's your problem, then definitely give me a call, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. My digital agency can help get more RV customers to your dealership, to your website, to your sales funnels. That way your sales team is talking to more customers. If you need sales training for your sales team, also give me a call, 330-703-3930. I'd love to help you with in-person sales training, Zoom calls. We can figure out what would be best for your sales team, and we can get them training and get them better at closing deals. So, if you're an RV dealership, if you're a business that needs more leads for your sales team, or you need training for your sales team, give me a call, 330-703-3930. Also, make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go like us on Facebook. Type in Infinite Media Resources on those channels. You can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, etc. Make sure you follow us on all the different platforms. That way you can, be hip to the RV sales process and different things we have going on. So again, hopefully this helped you out here. I love you, Juan J. Perez, my good friend. Great content, Chris. That's why the discovery questions are so important. Being able to use what they said to you upon qualifying the customer will help close the deal. Just keep it simple and listen. 100% Juan, you got it right. I love Juan because, he's always here. He's always commenting, and his comments make a lot of sense. My guess, Juan is a very successful RV salesperson because the things that he talks about make sense. Keep it simple and listen. There's been videos we've talked about. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. As salespeople, we need to be listening and asking the right questions. Ask the right question, listen. Ask the right question, listen. A lot of the time, we're not asking the right questions, right? So great. I'm with you, Juan. Thank you for the comment there. 100% agree with you. Keep it simple and listen, and let's make sure we're providing our customers with products and services that meet their needs, and at the end of the day, we'll get what we want as salespeople. All right, so again, thank you for being here. Make sure you're giving me a call, 330-703-3930. If you need more customers to your dealership, or if you need training for your sales team, I'd love to help, and I'll see you on the next one.